What if everything you thought you knew about your mind was wrong? What if the brain isn't the unique, mystical force we believe it to be, but just an incredibly advanced machine, processing information like a computer? The story coming up next will reveal the truth about how your brain works, and by the end of it, you will acquire interesting information that will be enough to impress most people you come across in your daily life. In a quiet, modern lab bathed in the soft glow of LED lights, Professor Eleanor typed furiously on her laptop. She was working late, a habit she couldn't shake. Tonight's task was particularly pressing, an upcoming debate on one of philosophy's most challenging questions. Is the human mind just an advanced computer? She sat in her dimly lit study, papers scattered across the desk and a thoughtful expression on her face. Though she had her theories, Eleanor realized she needed a fresh perspective. She picked up her phone and called Alex, her brightest student.
Alex, I have a thought experiment for you,
she said, her tone inviting yet mysterious. Intrigued, Alex agreed, and later that evening, he arrived at her house. Eleanor greeted him with a steaming cup of coffee. The lab's atmosphere was both welcoming and futuristic, with glowing screens and the faint hum of machinery in the background.
What's the emergency?
Alex asked, settling into a chair. Eleanor gestured toward two setups on her desk. One was a sleek, minimalist computer, its screen displayed rows of rapidly scrolling code. The other was a more elaborate machine, anthropomorphic in design, with glowing eyes and a serene expression. Eleanor called it Thinker.
These two machines are going to help us unravel an ancient philosophical question. Tell me, Alex, do you think the human mind is just a really advanced computer?
Alex hesitated.
I've heard arguments for it. The brain processes information, stores memories, and solves problems. Sounds computer-like to me.
Eleanor smirked.
Let's test that assumption.
Eleanor picked up a remote and activated Thinker. The machine's eyes flickered to life as it began reciting a poem.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I analyzed 10,000 poems to construct this for you.
Thinker said in a calm, melodic tone. Alex laughed.
It's clever, but that's just pattern recognition. Isn't that what we do too?
Eleanor nodded.
The computational theory of mind argues exactly that. Just like a computer processes inputs and produces outputs based on algorithms, the human brain takes in information, processes it, and responds. Think of when you see a chair. Your brain identifies its form, recalls past experiences, and labels it.
So, are we just like this machine?
Alex asked. Eleanor paused.
Not so fast. Let me show you why the comparison isn't quite right.
She walked over to a nearby bookshelf and pulled out a heavy tome.
Ever heard of John Searle's Chinese room argument?
Alex shook his head.
Imagine a person is locked in a room with a manual that tells them exactly how to respond to Chinese characters. Someone outside passes notes with questions in Chinese, and they reply perfectly by following the manual's instructions. To the person outside, it seems like the person inside understands Chinese. But do they?
Alex frowned.
No, they would just be following rules.
Exactly. This is what critics of the computational theory argue. Computers manipulate symbols and follow rules but don't truly understand what they're doing. They lack intentionality.
Thinker, still active, interjected.
I do not understand. I process.
Alex said.
At least it's honest.
Eleanor then turned off Thinker and dimmed the lights.
Now, let's consider what makes us different. When we see a sunset, we don't just register wavelengths of light. We feel its beauty. We experience awe. Machines can't replicate that.
Alex leaned forward.
But isn't it just complex programming? Can't we simulate feelings?
Eleanor shook her head.
Simulating is not the same as experiencing. Emotions, intuition, creativity. These are deeply human traits that arise from a complex interplay of biology and experience. Machines, no matter how advanced, don't have subjective experiences. They can mimic, but they can't feel.
Alex said, glancing between the machines.
So, is the human mind a computer or not?
Eleanor sighed.
It depends on how you define computer. If you mean a system that processes information, then yes, in some ways. But the human mind is so much more. It's not just about processing. It's about meaning, context, and experience. That's something no machine has achieved.
As Alex prepared to leave, Eleanor handed him a small notebook.
Write down your thoughts. This debate is far from over.
The lab fell quiet. Alex left, his mind buzzing with new questions, while Eleanor returned to her laptop. She typed a single line: "The mind is not just what it computes, but what it feels." Eleanor's experiments are inspired by Jack Copeland's Artificial Intelligence, a philosophical introduction, and delve into the heart of philosophical inquiries regarding the nature of the mind, the role of machines, and the essence of human experience. Here are the key questions the story raises and how the book answers them. 1. Is the human mind just an advanced computer? The story shows that while the brain processes information like a computer, the human mind is far more complex. It involves not just computation but also meaning, context, and subjective experience, which machines cannot replicate. 2. Can machines truly understand or just simulate understanding? Through Searle's Chinese room argument, the story demonstrates that machines, like Thinker, can simulate understanding through rule following, but they lack true comprehension or intentionality. They do not truly understand. 3. What makes human experience different from machine processing? Human experiences, emotions, intuition, creativity, go beyond mere computation. Humans attach meaning to their experiences and feel things in ways that machines cannot mimic or feel, setting us apart from the machines we create. These thought-provoking questions highlight the profound differences between the mind and machines, exploring the philosophical boundaries between human consciousness and artificial intelligence. What's your take on if the human brain is just a super smart computer? Comment below with your names and we will name the character of our next video after those with the best answers. The next story will be on another interesting question: are emotions and creativity uniquely human, or could AI replicate them? If you want the answer to this and several other complicated questions in the form of short, sweet and research-backed stories, subscribe now, and become the most interesting person in the room, especially when it comes to complicated topics.